All right. Hello, everyone. Good night. Happy bonus call. We're on day 2 of the Money Attraction Challenge. I'm going to jump over here in the comments so that I can see who's joining us. We had quite a day today. And so I know that we needed this extra call tonight. I'm just looking forward to sharing some amazing people with you because one of the things that I love to do is I want you to see what becomes possible for you when you are willing to commit to saying yes to yourself, yes to the change that you want, yes, 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 yes to your dreams, and going on the journey, being supported, being held accountable, and getting the results that you want. All right. So yes, hello, money family. I can tell the regulars. They come in screaming, "Hey, money family! Hey, money family!" I love it. So good night to all of you. As you're joining, please remember to tag friends and invite wonderful people that you have in your life to come watch this. I know that we talked a lot about money traumas today and the 13 different ones, as well as the impact that trauma has on your life. You'll probably remember I said there's actually a condition called post-traumatic financial disorder. And it is, we have gone through an experience in our life where money was involved and we experienced some kind of trauma. And now we're experiencing or we're living out in our finances the result of that disorder. Like our finances are just misaligned. No matter how much we want it and we're doing all the right things, it's just not coming together for us, right? And so we find ourselves in this, the result of trauma. All right. So I see lots of friends. I'm jumping over here. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, Janice from Maui. Mwah. All right. Hey, money family. I absolutely love it. So I love that you guys are back with us tonight. You must really love it. You're all here in big numbers. Go ahead and tag a friend, invite someone to join us. I'm going to jump right in because I want to keep this nice and tight tonight. I have a question for you. How many of you, while we talked about the 13 money traumas today, had an aha, had an insight, had an awareness, like the light bulbs went off, it all suddenly made sense? If that was you, go ahead and type wow in the comments. Let me know that's how you felt when it was done. You've probably spent the last couple hours going, wow, wow. I I love it. Go ahead. Yes, Mary. Mary said I did. Me. Chantel says, wow. Evening, Esther from the UK. All right, you guys. Yeah, definitely a lot of ahas. Definitely a lot of people typing wow. I know that when we talk about money traumas, it literally is this massive awareness because in this body of law of attraction and the universal principles and mindset transformation and all the goodies, all the good things, there is this deep underlying foundational stuff called trauma and deservingness, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. That if we don't resolve those things, then yes, the law of attraction will work. It's always working, but it's manifesting stuff based on this foundation, right? A lack of deservingness, trauma around money. The law of polarity is in effect where you're like, I've had these traumatic experiences with money. So no, because we're not going to blame the humans that were involved. We might be angry at them, we might do that. But the more powerful thing that we're going to do energetically is go, money, back off because you cause pain. And yet on the other side, we're trying to pull it in. And so it's this polar opposites. Which one's going to win? The pain, my friends, the one with the most intense emotional charge is going to win. And that one is where you go, back off. I don't want you. Ooh, I love it. 111. I saw for a second there. All right. So if you got a wow today, go ahead and type wow in the comments so that I know it landed and it had the impact that I desired. I just want to give a shout out to all of you who have already said yes to joining us for the 120-day money and profit mastery program. If you could see inside my heart and the joy that I have, because I know what's going to happen 120 days from now. I know the transformation and the change and all the crazy wild things that you're going to manifest over the next 120 days. So those of you, I know you don't know all the people, but just go ahead and write congrats. Just put out that energy for all of them. Congratulations. Congratulate them, because the vibration of joy is going to be shared and received by all of us. We're all going to benefit from just being happy for people whose lives are going to change. And of course, that can be you too. We'll talk about that in a minute. But go ahead. Yay. Thank you for congratulating all the people that joined. Yay. I love it. See, here in the Money Family, what did I tell you? We celebrate each other. We support each other's financial dreams, and we celebrate each other. That's how we roll. So thank you for making that true tonight. Now, today I talked about trauma, and the reason that I'm doing this bonus call is I want to talk a little bit about the healing of trauma. I want to take you through just some additional, like, I know I brought up a lot today. It was very heavy, it was very intense. And I want you to go to bed tonight without hearing a little bit about, let's at least take the first steps towards healing the trauma. So what I have in store for you tonight, I'm going to give you 3 things just to be aware of in the journey. I'm going to introduce you to some incredible people. And at the very end, I'm going to take you through a visioning activity that is so powerful in the healing process of really starting to set this trauma thing in place. All right, so you guys ready? I love it. Thank you for congratulating everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the inner circle. So we're all the Money Family, but when you enroll in the program, that is like, okay, we've gone into the inner circle. This is where we meet intimately and we do the work. I'm in there with you, Diane and I, and the mentors, and we're doing this together. We're holding hands in this like vortex space as we journey together for 120 days, right? So yes, thank you for congratulating all of them. Now, one of the things that Dr. Carolyn Ross, who is a trauma expert that I had on last time, etched in my brain about trauma, she said, Tasha, if we don't evolve after we've had trauma, if we don't evolve, we will suffer. And I don't mean to make that like the big dark thing, like heaviness in the room, but it's just fact. When you've had a traumatic experience, if you don't evolve beyond it, if you don't become a new version of yourself, you stay in the pattern, you stay in the cycle, and it creates things like post-traumatic financial disorder, or you just stay in a repeated pattern of suffering, not quite living up to your full potential. And so these are the steps that I want us to just become aware of tonight as the beginning process for healing. Step number 1 is to become aware that you've experienced money trauma. And I think if you watch today's live, right? I think we checked that one. I am fully aware that I've experienced some serious money trauma in my life, way more than maybe I even thought, So step number 1 is just awareness. I've become aware that I have that. Like the light bulb went on. Step number 2 is to just accept it with love. I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to make myself wrong. I accept that these traumatic experiences that I've had, they've just been part of my life journey. I accept it. I'm not going to fight against it. I'm not going to make myself wrong. It just is what it is. Because if you resist it, if you try to make it wrong, if you try to run away from it, if you try to do all the, stuff that's just that ongoing energy around it, what you resist persists. So the easiest thing to do in the healing process is to just bring acceptance to it. It is what it is. And one of my favorite things is whatever shows up, love it. Just love it. And just pour in your moment of acceptance, just shower it with love. And then step number 3 in the healing process is to just have a commitment to make a declaration that you are now that you're aware, now that you've accepted it, you're making a commitment to change. You are making the commitment to releasing it and healing it. So I want every single one of you typing right now this affirmation. I am committed I'm committed to healing and releasing all my money traumas. I'm committed. And that's the universe, just your commitment is like the match strike. You know, when you strike that match, you just put it against the box and it strikes and the flame comes. When you commit, that's like that. That's all the universe needs to start the spark, and the journey of healing and transformation will begin. But first, you must commit. And your commitment is just the beginning. Then there's more things that has to come after that. But your commitment means you're now going to pull to you into your life everything that you need to heal that trauma. So I am committed. I love it. I am committed to healing and releasing all my money traumas. Everyone that came up today, I'm totally committed to healing and releasing. Cool? Awesome. All right, you guys. So remember, you want to stay after we hear from our friends, because I'm going to take you through the next thing I want to do in helping you with the healing process is I want to take you through a visioning activity that's going to empower you to know you are well on your way in this healing. All right. But first, I have an amazing guest tonight. This man, as he was behind the scene here, I said, wow, you know what? You are probably someone that's been with us from the very beginning. And even though, Sean, we weren't even talking about money traumas back in the day when he joined us. So he might not even know very much about this particular conversation. But the reason I invited him is a few months ago, he called me just randomly one Sunday afternoon and said, I just want to bless you by saying thank you for what you've done for me and my family. And, whether it's we think of you often, we're so grateful we met you and we did this work. And so I remember, and he said, if you ever need me to come share with your people about what this work is like, please invite me. And so a few days ago, I was like, I'm going to invite Sean. And this is the time of day that he could do it. And I love that you guys get to see men that are on this journey and what can happen when they're leading their own lives and their families. What can happen when they do this work? So Sean, come join me. Good night again. Everybody give Sean some love. And thank you. You can see he's in uniform. So thank you for your service. And, Sean, I have no script. I want you to these people are doing, you don't even know this, that we now do a 5-day money attraction challenge.
Nice.
So there's people from all over the world that are participating in this challenge. We're doing a lot of work around bringing awareness to the things that, either inhibit their ability to attract the financial life and the lifestyle that they desire, or there are things that they can do to amplify it. So that's kind of the container that everyone here is in. And we have invited them to come on the journey to work with Diane and I. And I just would love for you to share from your heart, if you can remember where you and your family were when we met. What was a breakthrough that you had? What is like, if you could tell me publicly and tell everyone, like, Tasha, thank you for giving us this gift, what would that be?
Ooh, okay. So I will be succinct because there's not enough time to share all the beauty, and that's why you've got 120 days or 5 days and not 5 minutes. But truly, where your attention goes, the energy flows. And so if I'm focused on, being at Disney, working at one of the most magical places, but I am constantly in fear and in stress around our money and the debt and just finding things to be afraid of. That's what was being drawn to us, both my wife and myself and our children. And then you just get stuck in that spiral, and it's harder and harder, where working with you, listening to your CDs and being able to spend time with you and your beautiful.
That's like, yes, you can see, guys, how long ago that was. He's like listening to your CDs.
Yep. Yep. Oh, wait, we got to stop at the light and change it out. So, being able to focus, just because I have a different car and I see all those cars passing, that's not because there are more cars on the road. They've always been there. and I just
Mhm.
hadn't seen it because I was looking at the wrong things. And so by focusing on what we wanted in our life, and I say we, my wife Sarah and I, we were able to attract things to us while at the same time letting go of the how, right? Going through the process and letting it work and letting it be attracted by intentionally watching for it. I didn't expect I would leave Disney and go back into the army for the financial piece, but that's where the path led. And so at this point we're getting ready to move down to Miami and buy a second house, and life is good.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that. That is amazing. Do you remember there was an activity that we did, I think in level two, during that 120 days where your family was all involved in this, like something on the wall, putting your vision. Do you
Yes,
guys remember that?
absolutely. Absolutely. So the two traditions we developed out of our time together, one was literally drawing a picture. What do we want our life to look like? If we don't have any words, what does it look like? And uh, there was land and a house and a stream nearby, and had no idea how that would come to be, but we ended up moving just a year and a half later and living in exactly that setting. And that, it's not forever, right? These visions and these manifesting evolve and change, and that's okay. But it took us there, and then brought us to another beautiful space. And then the second tradition is every new year, instead of New Year's resolutions, we identify the words. How do we want to feel and live? And so that's just put out there, and then at the end of the year we celebrate all the things that we created and experienced over the last year.
Oh my gosh, Sean. So here's the thing, and the reason that I love that you like reference the CDs to show everyone like how far back this was, is that we're inviting people to enroll in a 120-day process this year. But
Nice.
what I want you to hear from Sean is like the long-term effect for him and his family. This was years ago that they did this. And it's like I get a call every now and then when there's like something that's happening in their family. And I love that because it's an investment. It's like Sandra said earlier, it's forever. It changes your life forever. You get the tools during these 120 days, and then you get to use them in any area of your life that you're looking for change and transformation. I know you've used it with health, you've used it with your job, you've used it. I mean, there's so much. I'm just grateful that you offered to be here. And thank you, thank
Absolutely.
you, thank you, thank you. And anything else that you want to say before you go?
the Do the work, trust the process. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Trust the process and do the work. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
Sean. Thanks for being on tonight.
Take care.
All right. Okay, so I have this amazing lady, and now we're gonna turn it back to trauma, right? So I wanted to show you, all of you watching, this woman who every time I talk about trauma, you will see her every time because she is. Somebody posted, a man posted in the comments today, do you need a poster child for this? Do you need a poster child for these money traumas? And I was like, I'm not sure what to make of that. But Lisa is my poster child when I think of money traumas, because she has come out on the other side in such a beautiful way. And so, Lisa, I'm going to bring you up on stage. Everyone that comes out on Clubhouse every Thursday morning, you all know Lisa. So here is her face, right? A face to match the name. And Lisa, can you just speak into the hearts of everyone here tonight and that will watch the replay? It was, I think, maybe 2 years ago,
Mhm.
April, right when COVID started. We did a challenge, and you had been praying like, I need help, I need change. I don't, almost like you didn't even really know what you needed, just that you needed something to change in your life. And it weird, you get an ad like everybody else, you see an ad, you don't know me from Adams, right? But the ad keeps coming to you like, you gotta follow this girl. And you come and you do the challenge, and it's the day when I do money trauma. Can
Mhm.
you go back to that day, because that's where everyone is right now, and just share with us like what came up for you? What came up for you that day?
Yes. Wow. I first of all, I can remember exactly what I was doing that day. And you're exactly right, Tasha. I had been praying. I'm like, I don't want to grind. I don't want to work 14 jobs. I don't want to be stressed out. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm in a living situation that I do not want to be in. And I'm stuck here because of money. And I remember sitting, like I said, I saw the ads and I'm like, ignoring. But that day I sat down and I was sitting on my bed. I'll never forget it. And I don't even think you had said 2 words. And I just started weeping. It's like everything in me was like, okay, here we go. Like, this is what you've been asking for. This is what you've been praying for. And so you went through the 13 money traumas. And I remember, I think I had probably about 8 of those. And I was just like, this is the answer. This is what I've experienced. This is what I'm currently experiencing. And I was sitting there and this thought popped into my head. And it was from Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor says that his mentor came to him and he said, I want you to do exactly what I say until you find out I'm lying or you don't know what, you don't know. You find out I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. And so that kept repeating in my head. And I was like, I'm just going to do exactly what she says until I find out she's lying or she doesn't know what she's talking about. And the day that I said yes, everything just rapidly started changing. But I'll never forget sitting on that bed consumed with so much anxiety, so much oppression, depression. Like I said, in a situation I did not want to be in financially, in a living situation that I did not want to be in, and feeling my help coming in, feeling my assistance coming in, feeling a release for all these things that I had been carrying for so long. And so for that, I'm so grateful. I'm looking up because I don't want to cry because I'm a crier. We know this. Everybody knows that I'm totally a cry. But Tasha, thank you, like seriously, for changing my life completely. I was living paycheck to paycheck at that time, but I have full faith. I didn't know how other than this feeling on the inside, and I was committed. I was like, I don't care what it takes. I know I said I don't want to grind and hustle, but I'm going to trust the process. And I remember that week, I think you did mention easy and relaxed, and I was just at a point where I was like, what I've been doing for the last 30 whatever years it was at that time was not working. And so I'm just going to have blind faith and I'm just going to trust that this is the answer, especially when it kept popping up. Like, it's like, you're asking me, I'm sending it. Like,
right?
listen.
Yeah.
So grateful for that. And in that period of time, well, let me back up. At the Money Attraction Challenge, I played full out. You said you have X amount of dollars to spend. I remember it's like, I'm so like, I followed the instructions and I put a white Mercedes up there. And at the time, my credit was not great. But during the program, I ended up manifesting like someone to help me to educate me on credit and etc. But I remember putting that white Mercedes on there. And so trusting the process, I manifested it a couple of months later in the exact way that I wanted to manifest it, with the payment that I wanted. All of these things ended up moving out on my own, and not just moving out on my own. When you teach us how to write intentions, just that whole process, because people write goals all day long, but there's something about the way you teach to write an intention that attracts and brings it into our life. So I remember writing about the car. Well, like I said, I posted it during the Money Attraction Challenge, but the way I wanted to live. Remember, I said I was in a living situation that I didn't want to be in. And I remember crafting exactly what I wanted. I'm like, I want to live I want a lake house. I was like, and I want to live near water. Well, actually at that time, it was more of a luxury apartment. I still want a lake house, but a luxury apartment. And I ended up in a luxury apartment with this beautiful walking trail and this beautiful body of water that I got to sit on my balcony and look at every single day at that time. And I was just in awe at how rapidly my life had changed when I had been trying for years to get to where I was. And in 120 days, it's like, who are you? Like,
Tasha Chen, who are you?
who are you? You're the answer to a prayer, and not just my prayer. I think to so many other people's prayer. And I'm so grateful. I even remember you saying, you were like, I wasn't even sure it was the beginning of a pandemic. Should I launch this thing? And when I think about all the friends I have internationally now, because that was the desire of my heart. I always said I wanted friends all over the world so that I could visit them and hang out. I'm like, if she had waited, how much longer would I have suffered? Because I was suffering. And I know there's so many other people out there that are suffering. And when you have the answer and you don't have to anymore, I strongly encourage you not to do it. Because if you had the answer and you could do it, you would have already done it. But you don't know. But yeah, there's no need to suffer. Because if you've been praying and you've been asking, then I can tell you that the answer has showed up. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I am, every time that I have you on, as the months go by, and I remember when you first joined, and I remember when you shared with me the where you were the day of the money trauma, and how, that's it. For so many of us, we didn't even realize this money trauma thing was at play. And then to have someone just show you how to resolve it versus you trying to figure it out. I love what you said, Lisa, like suffering is not necessary. Struggling to figure the answer out, reading every book imaginable, trying to do it on your own. Why?
Yeah.
What is that about? Why are you choosing to do that? And you know what's interesting? Because trauma has conditioned us to make it harder, to make things harder.
That's true.
We go that route. So this is part of breaking it. No need. Freedom. That's what I'm about. Let's go. Let's live the dream.
And it feels so good. Like, even now, just being in the money family, staying connected, having fun. That was something else that she brought into my life, was fun, because I was way too serious. Okay. It's kind of hard to
imagine you any other way. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. Thank you for being here. I know some of you are going to get to be on calls with Lisa. You're going to get to talk to Lisa because she has offered, she's so committed to this community. Like, Lisa is cheerleader number one. She is so committed to this community. You'll see her welcoming you. She has now stepped up to help us with enrolling you. Like, this is, like she said, it answered her prayer, and I just know her heart. She wants it for all of you. So some of you are going to get to talk to her, and that's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All right. Now for another amazing lady, Miss Nadine, Coach Nads, as we affectionately call her. And I'm looking at the time, and I just want to honor everyone for being here. Remember, I'm going to take you through that visioning, so hang tight. But Nads, can you share a little bit about when you had the aha, oh my gosh, I've suffered money trauma, and that's why I keep self-sabotaging, or I keep staying stuck? Like, just share with everyone, becoming aware. And then once you've done the work, what is your life like now?
Oh, there's so much to tell. But I know that we're limited on time, so I'm going to be very as succinct as possible. But, I was saying to Tasha that for years I'd been doing coaching. I had been coached, I did so much of it, and always thought I knew the answer. I knew what it was. little did I know that I've been asking myself some of those hard questions, but not really being truthfully honest. Some of it I was unaware. And when I realized that when I was in just out of high school, just going into college, my father lost his job. And he had lifted himself up to the VP of the bank, and it was traumatic. So, here's your hero, your dad, da, da, but all of his experience was banking. And so I must say to you that these things actually show up in all areas of your life.
Yep.
So I went to school. I made sure that I wasn't going to focus on one area. So I did accounting first, which was following in my dad's footstep initially. And then I did human resources, but I made sure I did generalists because I didn't want to fall into that trap. So it was following me in a particular way. And then one day, Tasha asked me the question, and I was like, ooh, wow. I always thought I knew the solution and the answer, but it was you that got me to that place of recognizing that it was really my dad's situation that kept following me. And then here comes a period in my life when I'm in my 40s, and then I have lost my job. And I thought, that's it. Same things happen. Like the legacy, the cycle is repeating itself. But thank God I had Tasha and Diane to support me, to guide me, to, lead me in this path. And as I said, I've done different coaching programs. Lisa Nichols, Tasha and I went to the Oprah Winfrey The Life You Want weekend. We've done all kinds of stuff. But it was that question that got me. And it was you that got me to that place of recognizing that it was my dad's situation that had been following me. And just like Lisa had said, and Sean, I got to write my intentions in a different way, creating what it is that I wanted in my life. And I don't want to forget two major things that happened during our programs and so forth. One was with yourself and Catherine, who spoke about debt and and shifting the energy and the conversation to outstanding balances and looking at it differently and appreciating our debt. And when I shifted that language, the energy shifted. And I literally went from a situation where I had an outstanding balance of US $60,000 to a payoff of $2,000. I was like, oh my God, this stuff works.
Wow. I'll take it. Wow.
Well, guess what? It ended up that I was made redundant or laid off, as you would say, a second time. But this time I had been in your program. So I'd already written my intention. I'd wanted the summer off, but I wanted it and I got some cash too. I literally had the entire summer off that year, got cash in hand, and September 1, a new project. I mean, when I tell you, it just was like unfolding, just like that, boom, boom, boom. And it has been an amazing journey. And so I really encourage each and every person that's listening to ask the question or listen to the questions that Tasha is asking and be honest with yourself. Because as I said, I've been doing the coaching. I've been a coach for years and I've been getting coached for years, but I wasn't being truthfully honest with myself. And when Tasha and I went to that Oprah The Life You Want weekend, one of the big ahas that we left with, you get what you believe, not what you wish for. And up until that moment when I was truly honest with myself, I didn't believe I deserved differently. I didn't believe it. And it was a major boom, aha, eye-opening experience. And writing my intentions. I mean, there's so many things I could add to it.
Oh my gosh. Well, here's the thing that I love about your story, and I know Diane's watching, is like when we met you, you were at the job. We were having to tell you to change the languaging from I have to go to work and I hate it to imagine you're going to the playground, right? And like all these things along the way that just being in the program helped to support the shift in your experience to getting you to the point where you are living your dream. right? You do work you love. My God, nobody goes to the beach and travels more than you. I mean, you live in Jamaica, first of all, so you're living the dream. Like, you have created, got beyond the trauma and the legacy of the pattern of what you saw with your dad, and now in the place where you're living the dream that we worked on creating, right? And that's what I want for everyone. So mwah, thank you, thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And my final guest tonight, hang on, Nads, let me take you off. Lashina, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
So, guys, first of all, can you feel their energy? Like, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to have this energy? So, Lashina amazed me because I was on Clubhouse a couple of weeks ago, and she came up on stage and she said this. First of all, Tasha, I've been following you for about a year, and I have manifested so much, da 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 da. Right? So, yay, kudos to you. Then we do the enrolling, and she enrolls in the program. And then she sends me, she is now, watch out, Lisa, because Lashina's right behind you. She is blasting this challenge everywhere. And one of the things that she shared with me was how your big thing was money trauma, right? When you heard about money trauma and really doing the work on money trauma. So here you are, you just enrolled. There are lots of people that they have calls tomorrow. They're thinking about enrolling. You manifested a bunch of stuff, but you still want to do the program. Why?
Wow. The short answer to that is that if I've manifested as much as I have over the last year, I did the challenge last year, and the things that I manifested, if I did that just by tapping into your free stuff, I can only imagine what I can manifest by investing in myself. And I said, it's really a no-brainer. It really is. I've got to do it.
The way she said it earlier, I was like, by the way, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you this question. She's like, I need you in my life.
Yes.
Tasha, I need you.
Bottom line.
Bottom line, right?
No other way. Because at the time, the only reason that I didn't invest in the challenge last year when I did it, mind you, I blasted that out to my tribe too. And I said, I don't really know who this is, but it sounds good. And I'm all about manifesting and normalizing earning more money, because I think there's so many people who don't feel as if they deserve it. They want it, but they just don't think that it's even possible, because we don't even have people.
Pause. Everybody type in the comments. We're all about normalizing earning more money. And then I'll add, in an easy way.
Yes.
Let's normalize that. I was listening to a video from one of our coaching sessions, and Denise, if you're watching, oh my gosh, I just cracked myself up because she's on this call. She goes, nobody ever told us that we could say we want to make money easy, right? Like, nobody ever told us we could say we don't want to work hard. We don't want to do it. Nobody ever told us it was even possible to earn the financial income that we desire without the hustle, the grind, and the stress. Nobody gave us permission. It's like sometimes I get on these calls and people are almost shy to tell me, I really don't want to work. I'm like, girlfriend, this is the place where we say that. We normalize that. Yes, I'm going to take inspired action. Yes, I'm going to do stuff that makes me so happy and fulfilled it doesn't even feel like work. Yes, I'm going to manifest more wealth, but I'm totally down for it. I don't want to work hard. And that's the truth. That's it. Right? So I love it. It's all about normalizing making more money in an easy way. If you're down for that, come join us. So finish what you were saying.
Yes. And so I blasted it out and said, hey, join me, because I'm all about educating, and let's learn from each other. And and during that 5-day challenge, one of the aha moments for me was when you asked us to spend money on me. Yeah. And when I tell you, it was so hard. Everything I thought about, I was like, oh, that's not for me. Oh, that's for the house. This is it. And I just kept going. I was like, there's something going on here. And so it just really opened my mind to something that I hadn't really thought about. in that way before. And the
Mm.
only reason that I didn't invest at the time is that I was already invested in a very high ticket, super duper high ticket coaching program. That was a 12-month program. And I said, I let me really invest in this, let me focus on this and see where it was going. And it was so amazing because one of the tenets or pillars that they talk about or coach about is about, they don't call it money trauma, but they call it, limiting belief and being able to unpack that. And they tried to unpack it with me, but they didn't give me the tools on how to think differently. And so there were others in the coaching program she was doing the same exact thing that I do in my coaching, but she was bursting out of the seams, rocking and rolling, and I still hadn't had one sale.
Wow.
And I said, okay, there's something to this. And then I just kept tapping into you. I will never forget where I was. I was on vacation at my in-laws' house, and I stepped away to get some quiet time in the car, listening to you on Clubhouse. And you said, God needs you to be rich. And I grew up in a very Christian household where you're just taught, being rich or having money, that's it's not what you should do. It's just not, what is it's frowned upon to some degree. And so I would feel guilty about it. But when you put it that way, I was like, okay.
Permission granted. Permission granted.
Yes. And the things that I manifested over the year has just been amazing. I mean, I've just gotten another job with a 50% plus bump in pay, manifested a house, manifested more money than I have not even counted. And I know that you'll probably make me count it so that I know. But
Girl, I need my number so I can add to my total of what's been manifested. Oh
yes.
my
And then
God.
in the last Clubhouse, when you told us, and I love your transparency and I love the love that you give to us, because I think that was the other thing with the other coaching program. It was just the approach, if that makes sense, where it was just done in a way that it wasn't as loving as I needed it to be. So your love and sincerity and earnest, authentic, self, it just really translates with me. And I know that, doesn't work for everyone, but it does for me. And in that last Clubhouse, when you said that you would get past due bills, have the money to pay them, and still wouldn't pay them, I'm like, okay, she know me. Where I sign up? Like,
That
why
money
do I do that?
that money trauma thing is real, you guys. Like, I literally resolved my financial stuff. I started making money. I had money in the bank. The bills were coming past due, stamped on the front. You know how embarrassing that is? Like, the mailman knows your business. Stamped on the front of it, I have the money and I won't pay the bill. Like, the trauma and the fear of, oh my God, what if I do that? It's gonna go, I won't have enough. Like, scary things happen from money trauma. Post-traumatic financial disorder is real. I'm so grateful that you shared, Lashina. Thank you for your energy. And so many people are thinking that right now. I've done so many other coaching programs. Like, I don't even know, should I do it? I'm not here to tell you. I know there are a million mentors and a million programs out there. I get it. But you see this girl right here? See this one here? I can tell you about this one. There is no other human being that is going to cheer you on, love you, push you to your dream, like pull you up and get you there with love like me. So I don't know about any other program, but I know this Tasha girl here. And I said to you on Monday, what you see is what you get, because I really am all about, I did this for myself. I went from crying on the kitchen floor every single day, knowing what I was doing to my kids and saying, I want to change. I don't want that to be my legacy. And here I am on the other side. And the more of us that are living this easy and relaxed financial normalizing, making more money, is the better the world will be, the better our families will be, the more vacations we're on. Hello. More trips we're taking, right? So let's go. Yes, Martha, God needs me to be rich. Lashina, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And on that note, I want all of you typing now. We're going to go into this visioning. I want all of you typing, it is my right. It is my right to be rich. It is my birthright. If you need it to be that granular, it is my birthright to be rich. And I'm not even going to stop there, but I want you to know that it's your birthright to have it easy and relaxed. On Friday, I'm going to talk about more money with ease. And I'm going to show you some of the things that, literally our creator told us. This is how it should be. What have you done? Why have you made it so hard? And why are you continuing to believe that? Trauma. It is my birthright to be rich. All right, you guys. I want you all, I've been telling you, about the healing process with money trauma. So I'm going to end tonight's call with this. In order to live the experience of a version of you without trauma, you are going to have to, in essence, become a new you, right? And Neville Goddard, I read this 1,000 times because he just says it best. He says, if you are dissatisfied with your present expression of life, you must be born again. You have to change this version of you that has the 13 money traumas, or as many of them as you have. You have to be born again. You have to become a version of you that doesn't have those traumas, right? It says you cannot serve two masters or two opposing states of consciousness at the same time. You cannot be the person who wants the results of someone who has no trauma and then be over here in the expression of your trauma with money. You can't be in two camps. Taking your attention from one state and placing it up on the other, you die to the one from which you have taken it, and you live and express it to the one with which you are united. So in layman's terms, you are going to have to let go of the person who was on the live today and identified with all those traumas. You're literally going to have to say bye-bye to that version of you and create a version of you that lives from a healed and whole place with all of these traumas. You're going to have to create a new identity. It is the only way. What did Dr. Carolyn Ross, the trauma expert, say? You must evolve. It's another way of saying you have to evolve. So I'm going to take you through one of the things that we do in the program to show you the power of this. You can, in this moment, create a version of yourself that no longer lives from this trauma. When I wanted to manifest a relationship and I finally got down to, okay, I got to do this. You know what the first thing I did? I saw myself as a Tasha who didn't have the baggage, who didn't have the limitations, who didn't have all the abandonment issues, who didn't have all the things that was causing me to not have a relationship. I had to just close my eyes and see that version of me happily enjoying a whole healthy relationship. So once I created that version of me, I came back over here to the now, and then I did the work to become her. And that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to take you through this visioning of to create the you that is whole and healed with money trauma. And then I'm going to invite you, come, let me show you how to become that person that you create tonight. All right. So I'm going to ask you, close your eyes. And I'm not on Zoom, so I can't see you. I'm just going to ask you, close your eyes. And I want you to just see in your mind's eye. I want you to first just imagine that you're standing somewhere that's beautiful. I want you to just be in your body, become aware of you in your body in this vision. The easiest way to do that is to just look down at your feet. Just look down. In your mind's eye, look down. Do you see your toes? Are they in the sand? Are you wearing beautiful heels? Do you have sandals on? See your feet. I want you to come up in your mind's eye. Look at your fingers. I want you to move your fingers, look down at your hand, moving your fingers. And now I just want you to bring your head up and just feel yourself in your body, radiating this incredibly bright light. The people, if anyone were to pass you right now, you are just beaming light. This moment is 120 plus days from now. 4 months, just 4 months away. And I want you to be in this body, in this moment, and feel how free you feel. You've released all of the traumas. You've released all of the limitations. You have become this new person that's so amazing with money. As you think it, it shows up. You're doing so good with your finances. You're living life and you're enjoying it. You're not, you are this person now. You go to bed at night with a smile on your face. Your heart is so full of gratitude because you're like, oh my God, look at me. Look at me and what I've become. And just feel that freedom, that peace, that joy, that new you that you have become. The trauma is of the past. It is gone. You did the work, and here you are on the other side. Give yourself the biggest hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for doing this. Doing this so that I can be here in this moment, in this freedom, in this joy, in this bliss. Thank you for the children, the generations that this change is going to impact, the people around me, my family, my children, my parents, my friends. Everyone is going to be better because I became this person. And just feel gratitude for yourself. Bring the biggest smile to your face in this moment, in this new version of you. I'm really proud of you. I'm saying that to you in this moment. I am really proud of you. Good job. Well done. And now I invite you to open your eyes. And I want you to know that it is done. That version of you has been created. From this point on, you can, version of you is created right here. It is 4 months from now. From this point on, where we are in this moment, you can do the work to meet that version of you. And what happens when you start doing the work is that version of you becomes the you in this moment. Or you created it and you do nothing. And that version of you is created. It stays out there. It's she or he is in existence. That version of you is living the life that you just created, trauma less. But if we don't do the work, we don't evolve. We miss out on the chance to live in the present as that version that we created. What happens when you do that, my friends, is what I know to be freedom. To be freedom. And I know so many of you have already said, yes, you want to go on this journey. You all typed the word freedom today. But tonight I'm going to make us another special invitation because I want you to see now that you've had the chance to feel what that's going to feel like. I'm hoping that your desire to have it be your reality turned up like 1,000%. You want it now more than ever before. I'm going to ask the team to open up some more slots. We're all willing to jump on the phone to talk to you. I want to invite you to join us for the next 120-day program. Here is what I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to tell you there are some of you in this group that you were like Lisa. You've been praying, you've been looking, you know there's more, you know it can be different. You just know it. I don't need to sell you on that. And then you have to trust that the divine brought you here as the answer. You can't do it on your own, or you would have done it. You would have done it. I wanted a relationship more than anything. I know how to manifest, but I wasn't getting it. If I knew what to do, my God, I would have been doing it, but I needed help, right? And I was smart enough to figure that out. After I created Tasha that had none of the issues, I went and got the help to show me how to make that the present day reality. And that's what I want to show you guys how to do. So for those of you that are ready, I'm going to put the website up here again. You want to go to helpmegetrich.com, schedule your appointment, fill out the application. I'm going to keep it straight with you. It does involve a financial investment. If you're at the place where you're like, I'm not really sure how I'm going to pay my rent this month, this might not be the right time. But if you know that you're willing to figure it out, how to make this happen for you and your family and for the changes that you want, we're willing to work with you to figure it out. But it does require financial investment. And it's 120 days of me in your life every day, showing you the things to do. And here's the thing. I want to just say this up front. I believe that transformation can be fun. So just like you've been experiencing this week, in that 120 days, what makes our program work so good? We make it fun, we make it easy, and we make it quick. If I can get you to do the work, you'll get the results. I know that. So in order for you to do the work, I make it easy, I make it fun, and I make it quick. Literally, the people in our group wake up every day going, okay, let's see what Tasha gave me to do today. That is a spirit of expectancy around doing the things that are needed to create lasting change. If I can get you to enjoy the journey, you're going to do the work. You're going to have so much fun. You're not even realizing I'm changing you. I'm transforming your mind. And then you're going to have the result that your heart desires. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that tonight. Like every one of the testimonials that said, they each shared with you tonight. I want you to figure out which one is like you. But the one thing that they said was, Tasha told me exactly what to do. I did it, and my life changed. I want to tell you exactly what to do. I want to make it super fun, easy, and quick for you to do it. And then you're going to be on here next challenge telling your story about all the transformation that you've experienced. All right. Mwah. I love you guys. Have an amazing night. Mwah. Thank you to all of the guests that were on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go have an incredible night, and I'll see you tomorrow at 12 Eastern. We're going to talk about financial deservingness. I'll see you then. Bye, everyone. Good night, Lisa. Bye, Lashina, Sean, Nads. Good night. Mwah. Love you. See you all